Hi everyone, good evening. This is Golam Samdani Don. Very excited to be back with the second episode of Be Discovered by Facebook. I'm wearing my branded Facebook t-shirt, sipping coffee from my branded Facebook mug. Yeah, you can see hot coffee. And today we have a very exciting episode because, I personally feel that I'm an artist. I'm a corporate trainer. I do big corporate programs. I do sessions. I teach people. But whenever I sort of design my training programs, I'm always thinking about the audience. That how can I make it very entertaining for the audience? How can I make it really memorable for the audience? And I visualize a training program like as if the audience would be watching a movie. You know what I mean? I want to make it visually stimulating, engaging for the audience, memorable, and something that really inspires them. So today, for the second episode of Be Discovered, we have such people who are artists by profession, who empower the lives of others through their art and creativity, who adds value to their customers by their creation, and just really awesome people. So let me introduce you. First, we have, let me put them on the screen. Yes, we have Amin Bhai and Sadia Apu, my beloved couples that I know who own Checkmate events. They're into big photography and videography in Bangladesh. In fact, we are partners with for many of our events. They even covered my daughter's birthday, so I have a very special, close relationship with them, and they are just simply awesome. And we also have Farzana Ali. The Let me put her name on the screen. Yeah, Farzana Ali Nishi, who is the founder and the owner of Cakesake. As you know, Cakesake is one of the top companies in the country who does custom made cakes, decorative cakes, and she's an artist through her cakes. And if I'll show some of her visuals, it's just amazing. I don't know how she manages to do that through and cake. So that's something very interesting. And last but not the least, we have Jordi, who was with us also in the last episode, the first episode. He's the director of emerging markets for APEC for Facebook. The other big introduction of Jordi is that Jordi is also an artist. He does a lot of painting and creative work, and he does music. And I don't know how he has a work-life balance by doing all of that and also working for Facebook and managing the Asia region. It's just awesome how he does it and what he does. So thank you guys. Thanks to all of you for being here. I'm gonna unmute your mics now. Yes, hi guys.
Hi, Don.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Don.
So how are you? How are you guys doing? I mean, like artist people are different. They're creative. Sometimes the mood is very good. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes you don't feel like doing anything. Right? Is that true?
It is. It
Yeah, it
is.
is.
It is actually.
Everyone is nodding their head except Sadia Aruni. She's like, no. Uh,
Loves to work so much.
We
Well,
are
I am
artists.
very creative. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, it's okay. We are artists, yet we work commercially. So yeah, sometimes we have to work if we don't like. So yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't always depend on the mood of ours. So yeah.
Yes. Jordi, you wanted to say something.
No, I just wanted to say that normally I am very creative in the evenings, and because I am in Singapore, it's quite late here, so I am. My mind is now, thinking about this event, and I'm going to be very creative. I promise you, Don.
The mind is right now thinking about the bed. Take me to the bed.
No, that's about work-life balance.
And
I
what about
normally don't sleep very late.
that's right. We must have a bed life balance as well. What about Farzana? What about you?
Like totally agree with Apu that you know actually work professionally, so it's not always about our mood. Sometimes if we feel sick, but we still have to continue work in some cases. But But when we are in good mood, I think it shows in our work as well. Because that time we work like
Oh,
creative
okay.
ideas comes more, and we enjoy our work, and you can see the finished product that it's look much better.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, in Bangladesh, we were heavily affected by the COVID, and I'm absolutely sure that many of our businesses suffered. My business suffered like anything. I'm sure, checkmate, weddings were not happening. Many weddings got canceled. And now, when things are a bit better, weddings have really become smaller in size. We are not seeing that kind of grand, big weddings that we used to see here in Bangladesh before. I'm pretty sure birthday cakes has suffered the same. Cakes overall has suffered. Like people were not going out, and orders were not being placed, and business have suffered, right? So I think it's very important for us to, and also interesting for us to understand how your business have turned around now, and how Facebook and Instagram and different social media platforms, digital platforms, have helped you come back on track, right? So if somebody tells us a little bit about that, that would be really nice. From the two of them, asking the local entrepreneurs of Bangladesh. Maybe
Sorry.
you can start. Yes.
Okay, so pandemic was really unexpected, right? So the business was going really well in last year at this very moment, just before we hit the pandemic in our country. We remember the date exactly, March 8th, when we got to know about the first patient died over COVID. And after that, everything changed very quickly, the whole scenario.
Right.
And we were not at all prepared. We were not. Though worldwide, we should be prepared, right? Because we were the very last countries to be got hit by the virus, right? So, but it's a very new experience for us. And the wedding industry, mostly, I'll talk about the wedding industry. We are very familiar with big venue-based weddings, with a large number of guests happening in big venues or convention centers in mostly urban in Dhaka.
Right.
And those were stopped after the lockdown, a very new word for us, because I can't remember this kind of situation we have faced just after we started our business. So it was a shock for us, and we started thinking about some recovery plan from April, I think, because then we realized the situation that no, it's
not going to go away
anytime soon. Because before that we were like, no, the lockdown will stay for 2 weeks, I guess, and after that everything will be fine. We'll go back to the last time we covered venue-based weddings. But
absolutely.
Then, yeah, don't we?
No, please continue. I just wanted to say, that's why we have this Be Discovered campaign to help, spotlight and empower local businesses and SMEs like me and you during this period of recovery. We are hosting a series of episodes like that, which shows the different innovative method and the resilience of us as Bangladeshis, as a nation, and how and how we are using the digital platforms to to build and grow our businesses. So today is the second part of the series. I'm very happy to have all of you. So would you just highlight a little bit on how you have bounced back, and how did you use digital platforms to help you bounce back?
Okay. Thank you again for inviting us. So the thing was, when the lockdown started, this is a totally new concept in Bangladesh, and we were not aware about it. And Jody would love to know about it, that in Bangladesh people are crazy about weddings, especially in the capital in Dhaka. There are only two type of entertainments available. One is food, and another is attending weddings. It's like People make dresses for weddings. People do a lot of stuff. They buy a lot of things. So it's a very big industry. It's a very big consumer industry, and it is a recession-proof business. Because when we started, after there were 2 elections to make elections, things were not affected. Were like 10% affected of total order, and whenever there are any other economic problems or anything, the wedding was not affected at all. But for the first time, we've seen that something called COVID-19 or coronavirus, which brings lockdown, and weddings are totally stopped. And we see that from 2,000, 3,000 guests per wedding. I don't know if Jody is familiar with these 2,000 people in a hall room or a convention attending a wedding. It's a very big affair. From that, like within 2 months, we have seen that 10, 15 people in 2 rooms, everyone wearing masks, and they're asking us to wear PPE, and they wear us face shields. And I told them that if we wear face shields, how can we shoot? Because it will block our eye. So this type of, you need to take these measures, that measures, and everything. So things were at stop. There were a lot of orders cancelled because the lockdown was effective from the last week of March in 2020. So we have seen like 10, 20 orders just swiped down. Everyone was asking that give us the refund. These events will never happen. And believe me, those events never happened till now. So we have seen a few barren months. Yeah. We've seen a few barren months. There was April, May, June, July. Nothing was happening, like 10 weddings. And usually in our culture, after Ramadan till the Eid al-Adha, there is a 70 days period which we call the summer season, and people comes from abroad. That's a big market. That people come from abroad, someone's siblings or friends or close family members. When they come from abroad, weddings happen. But those are actually off till now. It's a very limited scale. So we've seen that there were no orders for 120 days. We had to close our office. Our office was closed for 140 days. And what to do. Then Don Bhai and I, we did some live shows. that we did. That was important.
We make no money.
Yeah, we make no money. Another thing happened, that the visibility is very important in social media, because in Bangladesh, the wedding photography business is all about how you're visualizing yourself in the social media. Because if Jordi comes to Bangladesh and wants to search someone as a wedding photographer, he will browse through a few pages. He will see a few uploads. He will see who are the owners of the companies, how are their social media profiles, and then he will take a decision that yes, we might hire them. So that was important. We know a few pages that time they were thinking that there is no business. There will be no business for the next 4 or 5 months. We have a barren period for 7-8 months. We should stop uploading. We should stop using the social media. There is no point of posting photographs in the Facebook or Instagram. No need to make Instagram stories because it's a sad time. Everybody's in the pandemic situation. But the people of Bangladesh, they like to be happy. They're not usually sad. They're happy I know Farzana Apu will know a bit more about that. People love to eat sweets. They're very happy.
I'm gonna go to Farzana. Usually people are not very happy when I tell them, "Hey, I'm going to now teach you something." But of course, they're happy while they're getting married. But tell me, guys. I mean, you started the company as a Facebook page while you guys were students. Then now the company has become so big. How did you use digital technology to leverage? How do you use this visual medium to promote your products and services, things like that? Tell me something that's exciting with the medium.
Yeah, Sadia.
So at first we opened a Facebook page when we were back in when we were students, as you said.
2011, right?
2011, yes.
Yeah.
Mid of 2011. So we were doing our undergrad at that time, and we opened a Facebook page, a mere Facebook page, without knowing that what our vision is and where we are heading to. It was a Facebook page without any business entity, without any office for a long time. Okay. So because we were students, and at that time, that was some crazy idea or dream of 2 students. And that Facebook page, naming Checkmate, is a big entity. has its
Yeah.
own office, and has a huge customer base and
And it has
millions of
got 650,000 followers, right? 650,000.
followers. Yes. So
Yeah.
we got the encourage from our followers and to to have our career only on Checkmate, right? Because Amin and I both
Sorry.
just me on the
No, it's
video.
fine.
That's
It's fine.
it. So
No, I just thought
both
of putting some
left our
obscure word
corporate
on the
jobs. Okay. So Em and I both quit our corporate jobs and only pursue this passion because we thought that yes, this is a very fruitful business, and this business started from only started from Facebook, a Facebook page, and very slowly we grew our customer base mostly based on Facebook. Now we are using Instagram and our website.
Yeah, and it's amazing work. I think the work that you guys have done so far. Like I said, I'm a friend, I'm a customer, I'm a partner, because I know what you guys have done. But you tell me one thing, like you guys are working together as a couple. Is it good thing that you work, both in the home and outside home together, or is it a bad thing? How is it? I mean, I can never do it. I'm gonna have a lot of fight with my wife if she's with me all the time. But I don't know how you guys do it, and how is it? How is that experience?
To me, ideas are like trees. So if we both are working, then we are nurturing the tree. We are pouring water into these roots, and we're making it bigger. One good thing is that we can talk about work anytime, because as artists, it's not always, we are not always available because we have separate schedules and we have separate teams to run, and also it's always not in the mood to talk about management and other stuffs. But as we both work, we can have a midnight chat, we can have a whole night long conversation on what to do or what not to do, which we think it helps us. And another thing is, we both are from a bit different background, and we are both from different genders, and we do different type of work. So for Checkmate, we'll have always two separate type of views. When two things we combine together and make something, it's special. So yeah, it is applicable for us, and it is good for Checkmate.
Amazing, amazing, and as you guys said that you guys leverage the differences that you have, right? It's not a problem. You guys leverage it. Do you also have like a specific work in terms of how you manage social media? For example, one manages Facebook, one manages Instagram, or things like that. Anything like that?
Yeah, it's like that.
Hello.
Sadia does the
Like
Instagram.
that, our Facebook is mostly handled by Amin, and our Instagram is mostly handled by me. So yes.
I love the Facebook layout. I want to say, Jody, that I love it.
Okay, and how do you stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Facebook too. That's true. I think for girls like Instagram a little bit more than Facebook for some reason. Maybe Farzana would be able to tell us a little bit more. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I
We
can hear
can.
you.
It's clear.
Yes, I think okay. I had some internet issues now. You guys can hear me now, right?
Fine.
Hello.
Don bhai, I guess your internet is a bit slow for the time being. We can't hear you.
Yes. Yes. Now is it okay?
No,
You're
it's
still a
stuck.
bit stuck.
It's stuck. Don't worry.
You're stuck in the screen.
No.
Oh my good God.
No, it's fine.
I don't know.
It's fine. It's
Let me
totally
try
fine.
to come Wi-Fi. Come to my report. Now it's working, right?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it's fine. It's fine. It's
It
working.
is.
Again, you're stuck. Jody's mute.
Okay, I found a way to unmute myself.
Yes, same did we.
I am going to be making the best done of myself. So I don't know how am I going to do it. But I'm actually very interested in the conversation because and actually I want to hear from Farzana. I mean, being in the cake industry, I'm pretty sure that obviously the wedding season, everything got super affected. Don't I put myself in your role, by the way. So
I don't know what happened with my Wi-Fi, so now I'm connected to my mobile. I hope
okay,
things
but
work out.
we recover you, which is fantastic. I was just asking Farzana about obviously the wedding season got affected, all the venues, and I wanted to hear from her what happened with actually something like celebrations, cakes, and the industry that you are actually covering. And
Yes, I mean,
I'm
let's
not doing that anymore.
yeah, I mean, she told us that she found the inspiration from Cake Boss. She used to watch it on TLC. So I also want to know how did you start? You know, you had a Facebook page in 2014, I think, and then now it has over 100,000 followers. So tell us about the beginning and what's going on. How do you create such visually appealing, such beautiful cakes? Tell us about it.
Okay, as you know, I told you already that I was inspired by watching Cake Box, which was a show in TLC, and back then in 2014 there was not any way that I could learn physically from anywhere that how can I make this kind of customized cake. So what I did, I started to research and search in YouTube, Google, everywhere, and try to learn it by myself. And when I started to do it a bit better, I think that I thought that, you know, as I'm doing it quite good, and this market is not that popular right now, but it's a very nice product. If I start selling it right now, it can be a good thing. You know, the business can be a good thing. And for me, from the very beginning, actually from childhood, I was always thought that I will do any kind of business, but I wasn't sure that what kind of business I'm going to do. But I always thought about it that I want to do some kind of business. And I used to love, not used to, I still love to eat cake. I just love eating cake and making them and decorating them.
You
So
don't
I
seem
thought,
like
why
that. I think you're just lying completely. Because you don't
not at all.
if you have too much cake, you will look like a nice cake as well. Round,
No,
like me.
I try to keep it in balance so that I can always enjoy my dessert. You know, I don't have to regret it. So I try to keep it in balance always.
I'm
So
just joking.
thank you. So I thought, why don't I combine these two things and start a business? And I started by opening a Facebook page named Cake Six in 2014. And at that time, I was a student, and for me, it wasn't possible to start a business by with too much many with capital and place a physical store or set a bakery. For me, it was easier to open a Facebook page, and also Facebook like helped me a lot and fully actually to get my clients, to reach my clients, to show my work. And also after when I start, I was a bit worried that whether, as it's a very new product here, so whether this will work out. But alhamdulillah, from the first month I got so much responses, and it actually worked out pretty well for me. And my Facebook page, Keksik, is basically based on this Facebook page. And now I use Instagram, and also I get so many queries from WhatsApp also. So I use all of them to communicate with my clients. Also, I post pictures to Facebook and also Instagram, and I
And do you
fully
see
depend
any
on.
differences? Sorry to interrupt. I just was curious. Do you see any differences between the orders that come from Facebook versus Instagram versus WhatsApp? or there's nothing?
Yeah, I actually, I try to find out from which source I'm getting more orders, because that I feel like that I should focus on these things, that I should know from which source I'm getting more clients and more reach. And for me, as I don't know, maybe because I started it with Facebook, and my most of the clients I get from Facebook, and then WhatsApp, and then Instagram, basically. So that's it. And when actually I started doing it, it was a very small thing, but after 2 years it became so big, like I couldn't manage myself. At that time I used to work from home, and my sister used to help me, but after that she got engaged with her career, and but the order was so much, so I thought that I need bigger
So
space, I
no,
need more people.
no more free labor.
So I rent a bigger space, and I hire some more people. I hire my own delivery guy so that I can deliver the
Amazing.
product smoothly. And now it was actually, it was going very well before the pandemic. It was all set up, and everything was really nice. But when the pandemic started, as I mostly do customized cake, and especially in a big wedding, big birthday parties, they used to take big cakes, like 3, 4, 5 tier cakes, or minimum 2 tier cake. Okay, so all that stopped. And at the first, actually in March and April, all the customized cake, actually people stopped taking places for that. But after 2, 3 months, people thought that I get it from them, that we are not doing any big parties right now, but we can actually we can at least get a nice cake to celebrate our occasion. So people start to order customized cake again, to celebrate their small occasions and make their loved one happy. So we still don't cover fully from the pandemic, but I'm hoping very soon we will recover. Let's hope for the best.
I wish you all the very best. Okay, let me just mute you. Yeah. So I wish you all the very best, and you've done so well. I'm so proud of you. I was just showing you guys some of the cakes. She has made a little prime minister holding the reading the biggest newspaper of the country, and then she has made a very nice lace cake. So visually, you'll be looking at having a lace chips, but it's actually a cake. So it's so interesting, the thought behind. So so we'll come back to you and see more of your creations. But let me come to Jordi now. And Jordi, I'll just like to tell you that now that you've seen the work of Farzana and Amin and Sadia and their rise from being just like their work was just a hobby, they were just students, and from there started their page. Now they have teams and offices and massive orders. It's amazing stories, right? And I know you have a very similar story as well, and you are an artist yourself. So just tell me, how do you use this digital technologies to sort of promote uh, your art? Because I know being an artist is a special skill, but then using the social media and digital tools to promote and connect to the audience is also a different kind of skill. So I need some tips from you on how you do that, man. You need to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you because you muted yourself. Yes.
Well, first of all, I have to say that I am always learning a lot from real experience coming from people like Sadia, or Farzana. These are great examples of, well, obviously, we are in a certain way, we are lucky because we can dedicate ourselves to something that we have extreme, a huge passion for. and that is incredible when you can actually dedicate yourself to that. You put all your passion, you see your business growing, and something that starts as a dream, then it becomes real. So congratulations for that. And obviously what happened with COVID, and surviving and blooming and showing still, that they are and there are solutions for businesses like ours is a a reflection of that passion and that work. So what happened? Well, I think that in the work of the art is very similar. I mean, I had an exhibition planned back in Europe before COVID, and obviously got canceled. And then someone was telling me about, oh, we may have to go and do a virtual exhibition. And I was thinking, what is that? A virtual exhibition? I mean, you should be able to see your artwork and your paintings and talk to the people. And I'm going to be, and this is me, who obviously I do have passion for the company I'm working for, and Facebook and Instagram and all our solutions. So maybe because I was having that world part of me that works in these amazing platforms, I was actually able to get into this world very easily. I always been using the platforms that I know, and I know how to leverage to actually talk to people that shows interest for my work. And because I have that possibility, I use that for communication and creating contacts and listening to feedback and improving. And I think that this is what I love about Facebook and Instagram. Is an amazing platform for anyone that actually, today I was talking to a gallery in Paris. They contacted me through Instagram just half an hour before this meeting. So what an amazing situation, right? That someone discovers you in Paris and wants to know more about your artwork. The same thing happens with all of these businesses that for whatever reason, obviously, they cannot go into the normal interaction with the customers, but then they have those platforms that actually to continue being able to talk and create that communication and listening and creating that contact. I think this is amazing. Our platform are communication platforms, and we are actually linking people so that they can actually get and discover things and discover your business and discover who you are and what you do. And the same thing happens in all the industries, art, the cake industry, the weddings, all these services. They found a way, some of them knowing already before that was possible, some of them discovering it because they thought that the people were coming to them via the platforms and asking questions, and some of them are in that path and trying. You guys were creating your business on digital, so that is a privileged position. You knew already, but many businesses have been moving from being in a shop in Dhaka into actually creating now a digital business and being able to talk to their customers. So that is amazing. And yes, my experience is no different than anyone else. Continuing working very hard, finding ways to continue contacting people, and yeah, passing these hard times. Actually, I am lucky. I know many other artists that they lost obviously their jobs. They live from the tourism. They sell their artwork, or as artisans, they sell their products to tourism. The tourism industry got big affected big time by the COVID. That's what we all know. And obviously, everybody's situation is a little bit different. But that is a resilience of many businesses that are actually found in the digital platforms a way to survive and to grow. And that is fantastic.
Can you give us some tips, like how to design and plan visual content? Like I was showing your pictures on the screen, right? And it's so beautiful. I mean, not the pictures, I mean the painting. So beautiful that I feel like having one for my room. Honestly, I'm telling you, not to make you happy, but amazing, man. I'm very impressed.
Thank you. Well, yes, I'm probably in front of experts as well. So, but I am going to be giving few general tips. This is going to be more about creating obviously the content and how to maximize what we do, what we feel passion for, what it is our world and how we put it out there to actually create those connections, because I think it's important. So the first one is obviously creating striking content. And how this is done, we don't have to be thinking that everyone will have the possibility to actually hire big, production teams to create their work, right? This is not about that. It's about being authentic and talking about who you are, showing the beauty of your products, the beauty of what you do. Because if you feel that passion, I am pretty sure you can translate that passion into striking content. And there are obviously many tools that we can use, and planning this and taking it very seriously. And all of this is about curating, and it's important to take some time and actually do it properly. So take photos, choose the one that you like the most, the one that is going to be showing the product the best, and then use your mobile vertical content, square content, and try to see how you can tell a story. Facebook is fantastic for that. And then visuals are working, very well in Instagram, and how we build the grid. You all know about the grid, right? In Instagram, and how the people discover your business and how curated it is. And it doesn't take a lot of technology or anything like that. A simple mobile, and just do what you do best, and take your photos and tell your stories. Be authentic. That is extremely important, because we all know that there is a lot of businesses that they make a mistake. They think, go for a stock photo. It looks amazing and it's fantastic, but it's actually not talking about you. And that obviously is not going to be, a way to actually show your business. So be yourself, do what you do, because you really know what is your business, and the way to talk about it is the way you are using these platforms with your images. And then obviously, I think that when we are talking about our brand, you don't have to be a marketing expert, but it's important to think about your brand and how you want to present it. What is the color palette? How you can play with that, so that then everything feels telling me the story is curated, is interesting. I mean, Amin was saying, people goes into the websites, starts checking, goes into the pages in Facebook, goes into Instagram, and start checking for a service, and they will select the one that they feel is going to have, the best results for what they are looking for. And I think that this is where you need to look. You need to be genuine. You need to be authentic on what you can offer. And I'm pretty sure, again, that the passion that you have for your business will translate those photographs. And then you will receive those messages. You will start interacting. So the next tip is going to be plan your content in advance, because it's all about telling your story. So don't. And I'm saying this, and I probably have to be improving, because finding the time to actually do this and do it well, it doesn't require a huge amount of time, but it requires a good planning, which means that you know how your grid is going to look. If you want to put several photos that they are going to tell the story, just doing it in advance. Plan how is it going to look. Plan your Facebook posts, and then plan as well the time that you will require to actually talk to your people that are going to interact with you. Big mistake is when the people are answering, they're questioning, they are just commenting, they are just interacting with your business, and then you are so busy that then you are not present. Well, social media, our products, all the content is not just to put a photo. It is that interaction, that dialogue. Again, this is a communication platform, and that has to be maximized. Yeah, so this is an initial couple of tools. And by the way, the content and planning, we have been creating actually some tools that the people can use, like the Creator Studio, that allows you to see how it's going to be looking, planning and scheduling your posts. And obviously you have the possibility as well, if you don't have time, to share the same content between Instagram and Facebook, so that at the same time you are sharing both platforms. So you minimize a little bit the extra time that will be needed. I mean, not everybody has, two people working on the business that you can split the two platforms. That is fantastic. I was amazed about that. But I mean, if you don't have that as a possibility, you can always share the same content between the two platforms. Can I continue giving tips? I have so many, by the way. So I told you that I was going to be very creative today.
No, but because I think it's very important for all of us, for all four of us.
Perfect. So, I mean, I'm going to continue with the journey, right? So you were planning, you were doing. So how? Okay, one thing is the photography, is the video that you are created, but obviously there is also another very important element, which is the language you use, right? And I think that in the language, we need to be always thinking about, how am I going to promote engagement? How am I going to be creating that question on the people so that they want to know more about my business, about what I need to be offering them? So then obviously there is many techniques, like using an active language that obviously we have call to action, buttons that you can put in the photos, like buy now or click here, just know more. And then that will allow the people to actually click and then interact with you in a much more active way. You can also create a sense of urgency. That is just by using the language. You can say, for example, for a limited time, we have this a special promotion, anything that you may offer in your business. And then that normally, create a sense of urgency that the people likes and normally interacts as well faster with the people. You can also encourage the sharing or the tagging, and that obviously will make your content much more shareable. It will spread, the reach will increase, and then you can use things like, for example, giveaways or competitions, with your audiences. If that is something that actually relates to your business, I think is phenomenal as well, the possibility to interact at that level. And so in general, this is important, but this is the language that you use to actually post in the platform. But then obviously, as I mentioned before, the people will interact, they will come back to you, and then it is important that you are actually there for them. So answering, yes, dialoguing, not just to put the like or the comment on the little heart, just to say, okay, I saw what you were saying. It's just much more of an interaction. And sometimes, the people in that. Yeah, so in terms of content as well that you can use, there is so many other possibilities, like using the stickers on Instagram, that asking questions or do polls. Use the question sticker.
Very good tool. It's an amazing tool.
Yeah. So I think that I'm going to be also saying something. I mean, we don't have to be very technical, but it's important to use and to learn from the insights. That is very important, because we say that you need to know, how is performing what you are putting in your page or in your Instagram profile. Why? Well, it's very simple, because then you learn from how the audience is interacting with you as a business, and that gives you information that is extremely valuable to say, okay, if I put a painting and the people necessarily they don't like it or they don't interact, and then suddenly it happens to me, by the way. I mean, my favorite painting is the one that goes out there and nobody interacts much. Now, I don't know what it's telling me, but what it's telling me that probably it's important for me, but that doesn't really translate to them. Well, I should be learning from that, right? And then I think that from that interaction, what I learned is that there is a specific post, specific images that the people really appreciate. You saw some of the images as well, where I am doing a mock-up, just putting the painting in a room, because that is very different than showing. I started to do this recently, by the way, and this is the digital world we are living. So the people sees the size, they get an idea about the size, but they also get an idea about how it can look in a wall or, with the furniture and things like that. And that gives a completely different view on the artwork. The same thing can happen, I got into that by learning from the analytics, by seeing what are the people expectations, how the people likes to see my products. And that is what I always say to the businesses as well. Have a look at the analytics of everything that you post, because you are taking time to actually post in our platform, and it's good time invested when you are just going there and sees, this post doesn't work too much, people are not engaging too much, but look at this one, amazing. And I was putting this fantastic cake, and I was telling this story. What it is the text it is the image, it is everything.
what we were talking about, right?
Different this time and learn from that.
This is what we were talking about, right? The mock-up.
Yes, exactly. That is a mock-up. It's a very simple mock-up. This is not. This is the same painting, but put in a little scene so that you can see the size of that painting. It's a very large painting, and you can see, because when you see a square in Instagram, obviously, a painting that is a square, you don't have an idea of the size of the painting, and this is at the scale, so it shows that information.
So I think this is amazing, and this is brilliant tip because of Farzana and Checkmate couple and me. I mean, we all can use this tip. I mean, this is amazing. And hey, I have a question because because nowadays the reach has decreased for some reason, we don't know how, and we would do a lot of sponsored content sometimes, right? I did a big training and I target all other competitors of that particular company and put $100 boost. What's your tips on sponsored content?
I mean, I'm very conscious that this period of time, businesses, they need to be obviously extremely clever. When you have a business and you have a budget for marketing, if you really have a budget for marketing, then obviously you know how precious that amount is in the current times that we are living. So if you have that, you need to be extremely clever, and everything that I mentioned before, be sure that you are optimizing your content, that you are optimizing your time that you're going to be putting on it, that you are optimizing as well, the insights, that you prepare yourself, so that then when you have to be selecting the first part of the campaign, where you will select, okay, what am I going to do with this particular piece of content? What is my objective? And in that particular case, you need to be knowing where you are in the cycle of your business. Do you want to create brand awareness? You want the people to know that you are launching a new product? Do you want to just reach because actually you created you have a product, for example, let's say that you are in the business of the weddings, you are going to put a new service, and then you want to go and reach everyone maximum possible. So that's a reach. Or you want to create leads. Like leads is that you create that contact with people via a form that tells you, well, I am interested in your product, so that then you can reach them later and communicate with them as well. Do you want to do conversions? Do you want to do traffic to your website, etc., etc.? So this is important. You choose the right objective, not the wrong one. Otherwise, you may not be optimizing your money towards an objective that is important for you. You need to be very specific on your targeting. An impression of your product being shown to someone that is not on your target audience is a lost impression. I mean, it could be interesting, obviously, that other people knows your product. So I'm not saying it's a loss, but if you want to maximize the optimization of the money that you are putting in that campaign, you want every single impression to be shown into someone that is linked with that objective. So if my product is targeting, for example, females, then obviously select the gender. If you have a demographic much more defined, like for example, age, and where are they located, everything, you select everything in the most accurate manner possible. So that way, you know that your impressions and your money is going to be producing those impressions into that targeting demographic. Then obviously, go back into what I said before. Check your insight. And this is more important than ever, because when your campaign is running, if your results are not what you were expecting, well, you have in your hands the possibility to actually change that campaign. Stop it, looking at what are the creative. Maybe you should be changing the creative. Maybe you should be optimizing the demographic. Just be sure that you don't let a campaign just run just without checking during the period of time of a campaign. That is a big mistake. I always look at how the campaign is performing. And if I am happy with the results, then I let it go. Even I can consider to extend because the results are very good and I can put an extra budget, or I can just reduce the budget. And I said, okay, I don't want to spend the money for a campaign that is not performing at the level that I want. So that is extremely important. And then, so that brings into the final result. when you are getting your results, always check initial step, you check what is the objective, you plan everything very well, you monitor in the middle, you decide what to do during the campaign. And then at the end, very important, analyze what you got, the results, how many people are interacting, what was the reach, what was the amount of leads you got, how many people show interest for what you are offering and your services, how many people communicated with you. All of these things are very important. When you have that, that is super valuable for the next step. And that means that all your campaigns are optimized in the perfect manner, so that you have successful campaigns. But as I mentioned, this is something that for those businesses that currently they can put aside some marketing budget. And that, in the current situation is something that, people need to be obviously deciding and how to handle their business. Our platforms are fantastic platforms to communicate organically as well. So that means that they can also continue being, talking about their businesses, talking about what they do, showing who is behind the scene, talking about what they offer, talking about how they are, surviving the COVID, what are they doing, how they continue, and do it organically. And that is also fantastic.
No, I mean, thank you, Jordi, for wonderful insights. It feels great for us to, learn about Facebook from someone who works and represents Facebook. This is amazing. I'm pretty sure Amin and Sadia and Farzana, you guys have some questions for Jordi. Do you want to ask him something? Hey, Shujog, hey. Yeah, just unmute the mic. Yes.
Yeah, Jordi. What we have seen, we are operating this page for almost 10 years. At first, there were approximate 10% of people their contents were showing, but in recent times, even if we do not boost or promote stuffs, it reaches to a very few number of people. So actually, we don't want to boost that much or sponsor that much, because the wedding photography is a very emotional stuff. So if someone's wedding photography, they see it's like a sponsored post or it's like an advertisement, they might get, they might not get offended, but they might be a little bit hurt. My photos are being used as an advertisement. So how can we increase the reach among the Facebook and the Instagram both? So as the algorithm is not helping that much, what to do then?
Well, there is. Let me just clarify a little bit. This is an offer situation. So every single day, billions of people are connecting to Facebook. That was not the same 10 years ago when you created the page. So obviously, it has been a bloom. And there is a huge amount of people that they come into our platform, which means that there is more people out there to actually see your content. That goes into the positive aspect of your content should be reaching more people because there is more people in the platform, right? That is one thing. But then actually there is hundreds of thousands, millions of businesses as well that they are creating content. Also, the people are creating content. So when I connect, I go into Facebook, the way that this works is that the newsfeed has to be created for me. Every single time I go to Facebook, I take my mobile, boom, the newsfeed comes to me, right? Because that is the experience that you have when you go there, or when you go to Instagram, you connect, you see the images that you see. Who are those? Well, obviously the people that you connect with, the pages that you like, the businesses that you are following, correct? So your friends and family, all the people that they are connected with you on those platforms, so you see the content, and then a sponsor content, which means that there is a space for those advertisers that they want to be showing the products to you or talking to you because you are in the target audience for them. So that is also coming there. Now, this is the situation, is that the amount of content is much, much bigger than 10 years ago. And I think this is positive, obviously. There's many more people, many more businesses. There is a way to interact that was not existing before. And I think it's phenomenal because the communication is super fluid. But on the opposite side, you are going to be seeing that your piece of content, allow me to say, is competing in that environment with all the rest of the things, right? And that is seen as, oh, my post doesn't really, by the way, it happens to everyone for the reason that I mentioned, right? And that is where you obviously have solutions. Yes, definitely. So one, learn about what it works better than so use the elements that I mentioned. Change the way that you are actually posting. Use the different language. Ask questions. Maximize the engagement, because actually maximizing the engagement of your post is going to be seen as an interactive content that the people are appreciating. So probably the algorithm that you were mentioning will boost that even more because it's considered that people are interacting with it. Ask questions, put a poll, use catching images that the people will interact. And obviously, under the framework of the industry that you are covering, as you were mentioning, there is certain elements that you need to be respecting. So that is something that you should be considered. Promoting comes into that element of, obviously, you need to know what is the image that you are going to use, the text that you are going to use. As I mentioned, learn from the insights. But I'm pretty sure that then you can actually talk about your business in a way that maybe then you are minimizing the potential negative effect of someone saying or getting offended, like you were mentioning. Find solutions, be creative. This is about being creative, because out there you have hundreds of thousands of other people that they are very creative as well, and they will find ways always to innovate. So, I mean, my friend, you need to be always finding a new way to communicate and put your business out there and create the dialogue, because this is a communication platform, and the people attention comes when you are talking to them in a way that the people want. I'm pretty sure that you will see that suddenly you're seeing much more interaction. Test as well. Do A/B test. I know that you were mentioning that you don't promote much, but a solution is to do an A/B test. An A/B test is very simple. You split the budget between a campaign. I'm not talking about a lot of money. You can do it with very little money. You do creative one, creative two. For example, you put it out there and you see how the people are interacting. Then you stop the campaign, you learn from it, and then you know what is the people, how the people are appreciating more A or B, so that then you know how you can go. So there is many other ways to actually battle that, but there is no changes on and how the newsfeed is showing to you when you are connecting with Facebook or with Instagram. It's just the amount of content and how they need to be built every time. It's just the way that there is much more content, and then people's interaction, and they are the ranking number one. So that this is the most important. My closest friends, my family is the content that I am going to be always seeing, and the content that I am interacting the most, because obviously I understand as a platform that I have interest to see these things. You need to grab that interaction and that attention.
Thank you, Jordi. Some of the comments that came, I'll just quickly go to. Jessica said hello. Fazli Rabbi gave you guys, the Checkmate couple, a lot of love. Many people say hi, hello. Many people commented that it was very learnable and informative show. Shanchita Das said hello to Farzana. Ifrat Tony also saying hello to Farzana. Someone's calling someone a legend, probably to you, Jordi. Nahid Islam saying great to see my favorite faces. Someone gave me a love sign, Adia Jahan. Thank you. Babu Islam Tuli said, I love to be here with the team. Sure, we'll get you here sometime soon. Nazif said, please share some tips to promote digital product or services on social media. We have given you a lot of tips already. Sabina Saba said, Farzana Ali is a pride of Vicar Nisa Noor School and College, a great entrepreneur. So with that note, I just want to talk a little bit with Farzana, because she didn't speak much, and we want to hear her beautiful voice and her insights on the discussion. And whatever, I mean, if you have any questions for us or for Jordi, please go ahead.
Okay, I really want to mention that while the pandemic was going, I stopped boosting. Okay, and before pandemic, if you stop boosting, your post doesn't get that much reach. But I see that Facebook actually in the pandemic time, without boosting, they was showing my post to more people than before, and I really appreciate that because it helped a lot. People still uh, struggling with their business, and there still maybe some of the business are not ready to boost their post yet. But at that moment, actually, I really appreciated that Facebook did a good thing about thinking about us, the small businesses. And also I have seen something that we heard this thing every year, that Facebook changed their algorithm, and the post we posted before got so many reach, but now it's not working like that. And uh, for us, it's very difficult to understand the algorithm of Facebook and work with that. So how can we get an idea that what actually, I think Facebook actually want that their audience don't get bored, mainly. I feel that. So they try to change it and try to make things creative. I feel like that. I don't know whether I'm sure, whether I'm right or not. Jordi can say that. But how can we get an idea that what actually Facebook or the people want to watch from us, or want to see in our page, or how can we get more reach, or whether without boosting the post, how can we get an idea about that?
I mean, Farzana, you first of all, I think that your story is what I think that the people should do. I mean, you decide to stop according to the circumstances. I always said that. So every single business needs to be very aware of the current situation, how the situation is, to decide if they have a marketing budget or they don't have a marketing budget. If they have a marketing budget, it's not just for Facebook or for Instagram. It's a marketing budget, means that everything that goes in the marketing goes there, right? So then you decide if you have or not a certain amount of money to actually boost or not. The platform is extremely helpful for businesses organically as well. So that means that you don't have to spend money. And that is the beauty of this. But obviously, it takes much more time for the reasons that I was mentioning. In a simple way, if you are thinking about a box, right? And I have to fill the box. When every time that you come with your box, I will have to put in the box the things that I decide that, number one, they are interesting for you. I'm not going to put in the box things that you are not interested in, because that will be a way that obviously you will not find going to Facebook interesting and interacting, right? So obviously the most important thing is everyone has friends, family, all the people that you are interacting the most. That's very simple way. It's just very common sense. The same thing that happens in normal life. Who do you call on the phone? You call the people that normally you have more interaction with. I have my WhatsApp group with my family. They are in Spain. I am in Singapore, but I'm talking to them all the time. So when I am going into Facebook, my expectation is that if my brother put in something, I am going to see that. And that is what happens, right? Is coming in that box that I was mentioning. Now, going back into the business. So you need to be interesting. And that means that you are going to be interesting for the target audience that your business is talking to. You are going to be. I'm not talking just specifically to you, Farzana. This is a comment in general, and general for all the businesses. It doesn't matter if you are on doing beautiful cakes, or you are in a jewelry business, or you are in fashion, or in another industry. It doesn't matter. Or the important thing is that when you do, you have to be putting it out there in a genuine manner, in a very interesting manner, and that makes every one of us to be in a position that we can be marketing experts, but not necessarily being experts, because we have so many tools that makes this very simple, right? But that means that maximize those posts that are telling your story. It's not about just showing images. Suddenly you need to break that and tell something about who you are and why you are there. And that boosts a lot of the interest. I'm pretty sure that if you tell, for example, the story, I was fascinated about the Lay's cake, by the way, because I found it was, you mentioned it, but it was something like say, oh, wow, I never thought that a cake can look like this. Well, if you were putting a post that you tell the story behind that, I am pretty sure that a lot of people will interact, right? So it's unexpected, it's something new, you can put a question, you can say, hey, do you know why I did this? And the people will immediately interact with you. That post is going to fly organically, right? If you are going every single day, and then, yes, beautiful products you are doing on one, I put one painting, I put another painting, I put another painting, I put another painting. Well, at the end of the day, the people will say, okay, yes, thank you, it's beautiful painting or not, but that's going to be always saying the same thing. Break that dialogue, make it interesting, make it creative, surprise the people, because that is what, I mean, we are all people, right? We are not, we are also, you are a business, but you are also client of many businesses, right?
Right.
And as a people, what we want is to be surprised, to be, I want someone to catch my attention. And social media is not different. We have the same needs always. Even if COVID changed the way that we are doing things, the needs are the same. That's why we continue being in need of having a cake to celebrate something, even if it's for a small, intimate in the family. That is when, if I'm going to get married, I want to have that inspirational moment, and I want to see those photos, even if I had to delay, because those things are happening and the needs are the same. So tell me about it, please. Let me dream, even if I cannot go in to do my wedding, in the month I want. Yeah, I want to still dream about it. That's what I'm asking everyone to do. There is no much science on this. It's just about that.
Thank you, Jordi. I mean, your tips are so good and so relevant and so useful that when you are saying break the monotonous tone of your post, it also hit me personally, because I feel like I'm posting the same things again and again, and really, who cares if it's not very interesting? So thank you so much. So I'd just like to wrap up, guys. I think we have already crossed our time, but Jordi, Farzana, and Amin and Sadia, thank you so much, guys, for giving your time, for being here with us. And that's why this Be Discovered campaign is so amazing, because we are highlighting stories of resilience of young entrepreneurs, small entrepreneurs, medium entrepreneurs from Bangladesh, how we are coping up with Corona, and how we are moving forward to a beautiful, brighter world and a brighter future. So I wish all of you guys all the very best. And thank you so much. Good night. I'm going to see you guys somewhere soon, but I'm going to see you, Jordi, in the next episode. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes. Well, I'm going to go to Dhaka one day, hopefully, and I'm going to meet you. I want to really meet you and try the cake and maybe go to a wedding. Why not? I want to see that experience.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Happy to come to my training and then have a cake and then go to a wedding. So
fantastic.
And also keep making beautiful artworks, Jordi.
Thank
Don't
you.
stop.
Thank you very much.
Don't stop.
Thank you.
Those are really beautiful.
Thank you.
thank you, guys.
sir.
Okay, good night. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.